everybody. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Mirko Rodriguez coming at you. So today I've got a very special guest, my dear friend and fellow biohacker, Gianni Ballou. Now, Gianni's got an incredible biohack story, not just about himself, but about his father. It's a very, very touching story. He shared it with me yesterday, and I thought, oh my goodness, we've got to get this message out to people out there, to the audience. And if you have a loved one who is having significant cardiac issues, cardiovascular disease, you're going to want them to hear this. Now, before we say anything, we're going to cover a lot of things. And I want to make it clear that we never claim to treat, cure, or mitigate disease. This is Gianni's story. And what he says, he's lived it. And you can't argue with that. So, Gianni, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us. You have really, I've known you for several years. When I first met you, you were a young kid out of college, and you have risen up through the ranks, and you are now the Chief Authorizations Officer over at Transformations. And, you know, it's interesting because I had a conversation with a pediatrician this morning, and they actually commented on our authorizations department at Transformations and what a great job you and your team has done. So thank you for your leadership and for really serving the kids of this community. So, you know, we talked yesterday, right? And you came in and you were very excited to share a story about your father and what some of the benefits that he's had from biohacking, right?
Yes.
Would you share that with us and with the audience?
Yes, absolutely. So my dad is a military veteran. He's 73 years old, and last year he was diagnosed with congestive heart failure.
Wow.
His heart function was at 28%. Doctors were astonished, like, how are you still walking?
Wow.
Basically, they call him dead man walking. Absolutely. When your heart function is at 28%, that's considered heart failure. So I was afraid that I was going to lose my dad, and I know I needed to do something. And I was introduced to the amazing products of nutrigenomics sometime last year, and after 5 months of just taking these products, my dad's heart function is now at 70%.
Stop. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was at, you need to get this, his heart function was at 28%, which is consistent with, if you talk to any cardiologist, 28% heart function is considered heart failure, right? And he is now he biohacked for 5 months, and so he is now at what?
70%.
70% heart function. And did he change anything else? Was there a new medication? Nothing changed. Everything stayed the same. The only difference was that he began biohacking.
Yes.
Now I'm curious. So your father said is what, 70?
He's 73 years old.
73 years old, military guy.
Yes.
Okay. And so my father was a military guy, and I understand that military personality, right?
Yes.
So was he enthusiastic about biohacking at the beginning?
No, he was not.
No, okay. I know a little bit about this story because, again, I've been around these folks for a long time, and they tend to be a little ornery. No offense if you're a military guy, but you know, it's really hard to convince someone that something could actually help you. They tend to be very skeptical, and that's okay because that's part of their nature, part of their training. So, what was it that so he wasn't necessarily all on board, right?
No, absolutely.
Okay. So what did you do to get him to start? Because you can't exactly put it down his throat. Right. So
what I had to do is I basically, as his son, I had to put my foot down and say, Dad, no, you're going to take this. I'm explaining there's a bunch of science behind it. It's going to help your heart. It's going to help your brain. It's going to help all the problems that you're associated. It's going to help with your diabetes as well.
Right. And what was his response when you told him that?
Oh, man. Whatever, Gianni.
Right. You told me yesterday. What did he call it?
No, he's like, man, you want me to take that crap?
Crap, right? Okay. And now what's his attitude about it now?
Now it's, I'll taking it. I'm taking it.
You can't argue with the results. When you're considered at heart failure at 28%, and now you're at over 70%. You can't argue with those results, right?
Absolutely.
Well, good. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. So then he was also diagnosed with diabetes. He's had diabetes all his life. I think he was diagnosed when he was 15 years old.
Wow.
So he's insulin dependent, and now the doctor is actually lowered his insulin because his A1C levels have actually gone down.
Wow.
Yes.
Unbelievable. And again, I'm going to ask the same question. Anything else change?
No, nothing
with his
changed.
diet or anything? Because I mean, with medication, did they?
Diet's still the same. No change in medication. He just biohacked.
Awesome. And how has that impacted you, your family, your mom?
Oh my gosh. Well, our family's rejoicing right now. We really are. My mom's so excited. She has her husband back. He's currently in a rehab hospital where he's actually recovering from his surgery that he had. He also had some blood clots in his lower extremities. So that has been fixed. But the fact that the doctors thought that after the surgery, it was going to go downhill and go just bad, and the fact that the turnout was so good, they're just amazed.
So
Absolutely
what was did the doctor know that he was biohacking?
Doctor did not know he was biohacking.
Okay, all right. And so what has the doctor said now about, I mean, does the cardiologist,
yes,
right?
cardiologist.
So the
yes,
cardiologist, what does he believe attributed to the progress?
Well, he wrote him a letter before the surgery, said, Mr. Ballou, your heart function just keeps increasing. I don't know what you're doing, but just keep doing it.
Awesome.
Keep doing it. Whatever you're doing,
great.
keep doing it.
You know, there's been a lot of studies for persons with cardiovascular disease.
Yes.
A lot of studies on the biohacking protocols. I know that, for example, the American Heart Association, they actually published a 26-page article. Now think about that. They invested time to publish a 26-page article, not a column, not a paragraph, 26 pages in their magazine called Circulation Magazine on the benefits of biohacking on cardiovascular health.
Yes.
The study was so incredible that they actually funded a study with Ohio State University in which they studied bypass surgeries. Now, typically with bypass surgeries, on average, about 50%, give or take, fail within the first 7 years. In this, it was a 10-year study, and within that 10-year study, they found not one failure within that 10-year studies of those persons that were biohacking. So think about that. You have 7 years, 50% failure rate, not biohacking. The person's biohacking 10 years, not one failure. Unbelievable. And I remember that Dr. McCord, he actually spoke at a conference about the benefits and what it does for your cardiovascular health.
Yes.
And there are several cardiologists now who are big advocates of biohacking. For example, Dr. Mark Gordon,
Yes.
He's a fellow biohacker up in, I believe, South Dakota. Dr. Pratikya Gandhi, she is, I believe, the number 11 ranked cardiologist in the world. She's from India and now lives in LA, in California. And she was quoted as saying, I've waited 20 years for something natural like this that does what this does. And so I'm really excited for your dad, you know, and hopefully he won't think that it's crap anymore. You know, you gotta take it for what it's worth. I love the fact that this was a guy that you probably could not. So you couldn't convince him that this was going to work.
Absolutely.
It had to work. So you know the argument sometimes is that, well, it's a placebo effect. Well, you actually have to, for it to be a placebo effect, you actually have to believe that it's going to work. And it doesn't sound like he even believed that it was working for him. No? Okay. Well, you also can't argue with the American Heart Association. And you can't argue with Ohio State. In fact, I think they, to date, it is the only natural branded product ever featured in Circulation Magazine or endorsed by the American Heart Association. Unbelievable. So, you got any plans for the holidays?
Man, yes, definitely Christmas shopping for the kids.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
right,
so
good.
yeah, Santa coming up, and again, and just taking taking care of my dad.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I'm really excited. Congratulations to you and to your dad, to your family, for basically for getting your dad back.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you know, the National Institute of Aging, which is a part of the National Institute of Health, they conducted a 10-year study, and it was really only on half of the dose that of the protocol that we recommend. And in that study, they found that this was the only natural product clinically proven to extend life by an average of 7%. So what we're talking about is 5 years.
Yes.
And, you know, and I think about that. I think about the loved ones that I've lost. I lost my father prior to learning about biohacking. And, you know, and I think to myself, what I wouldn't give for 5 more years of life with my dad. He was a great man, and I loved him, and you know, I miss him, right? And so when I think about that, I think about the passion. That's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about sharing the good news of biohacking.
Yes.
And I'm really glad that you're going to be able to get that time with your dad.
Yes.
It's certainly, I know that you appreciate it and you're going to treasure it.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
from our family to yours, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you, and tell your dad to stop calling it crap.
Thank you, right?
So anyhow, Gianni, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know
much.
you got a lot to do again. Chief Authorizations Officer.
Yes.
This guy has risen up through the ranks. I love this guy. He's an amazing personality, amazing talent. And you actually took this and you have turned it into your own biohack movement, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
So you've been sharing this, and you've got some pretty big names of people that you've shared this with. Obviously, we won't mention any names on air, but some of the top attorneys in El Paso, some of the top physicians are now clients of yours, and fellow biohackers as well.
Yes.
So you've really taken this and really put your passion behind it.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, why did you decide that you wanted to share this information with other people?
Well, honestly, I honestly believe that people deserve a right and to know that they have alternative options when it comes to handling issues with their health. It's one thing to go to a physician's office, go to a doctor's office, and you get your diagnosis. Usually your emotions are so high, you don't know what's going on, you don't know how to feel, you're scared, you may be angry, you may just be sad, and they give you treatment options, but you have an option of yourself, and there's a pharmaceutical route and there's a natural route, and people need to know that there is other ways, other alternatives to help with their health.
Awesome. But I understand that we've had a chance to talk about business in the past, and you've got an incredible organization that you have built and have continued to build, and you've changed a lot of people's lives. I mean, this is just one story, and I wanted to share this one because it's of your dad, right? And that really touches, because again, dads, it touches our heart. But you have literally helped hundreds of people already to change their health. So. Man, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Guys, that concludes our interview for today. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you. And guys, remember, as I always like to say, there is a better way to live.